our friend went to Nigeria first, and she said, all right, guys, just do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Go to the bank. Take $1,000 cash in fives. You will need it.
Really?
We landed in Nigeria, right? Lagos International Airport. And you have to show them vaccination card, which is another bullshit.
Speaking of vaccination card, so we maybe got ripped off. We went through one of these private companies that charge
$3,000
just a
to get
shitload of money.
vaccinations and malaria.
They lay it all out for you because you need all these things to go into the country. And when we get there, we were there with a collaborator of ours, and he, like, I guess his was not within the time frame it was supposed to be. And the guy was like, oh, you know,
we need to send you back.
This is going to be a big
It's going to be a big problem.
Like, we got a problem. I think we have a problem. He tipped him like, what, $40? Like, we could have saved so much money by just bribing our way into the country.
From landing in Lagos International Airport to get to our hotel, which is on a territory of...
it's literally like on the airport property.
On airport property. You spend so much money because every single person see, okay, you international, you know, like, oh, you Caucasian, white, coming to your... Come on. And you just getting ripped off.
The vaccine requirement was a complete and utter horseshit. Like, we could have honestly just bought our way through.
I got to the point, I was so over it, and I'm Eastern European, I was like, dude, enough. And when he's trying to grab my guy with his luggage, I just push him away, I grab my guy, my camera guy, I was like, we're not giving you money, fuck off. And we just like start walking to the exit. And you go and people touch you, government officials.
Yeah.
And what was the sign over there in airport?
Which one? I don't know.
No government, don't pay. What was it? And you were laughing about it, that you're not allowed to give money to government officials.
Nah. Probably.
Anyways,
I don't know.
there is a big sign that government officials not allowed to take money or bribery, right? And there is a big sign in the airport.
The government officials.
Yeah. And it's great.
So getting back to the topic at hand, you guys were talking about holiday scam season.
Oh yeah.
Like, go ahead and give us a little insight on like the difference between your run-of-the-mill normal summertime or whatever scams, as opposed to what kind of increase there is during the holiday season. Like, what does that look like?
I always say that scammers will prey on one of two things, either your hopes or your fears. And fears usually is the more common one, and that meaning, you know, you get a call from the IRS, you're going to be put in jail if you don't pay your back taxes. Like, that's a fear. A hope is like, I'm a Nigerian prince who just won $10 million, but before you get your winnings, you just got to pay $250,000 in taxes, right? So that's a hope. So holidays, I mean, any kind of topical world event will initiate a lot more of these things. Holidays, obviously, that's a yearly thing. You know, you want to get good gifts for your kids for Christmas.
They're not saying like, help, you know, we need you to send, you know, a couple bucks to help, you know, poor kids and blah 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 for Christmas. They're far more in depth, right?
Well, and what they'll do is again, it all depends on the type of scam. They all have their own like kind of ways that they go. But these like tech support scams, specifically the ones over the holidays when you get those fake invoices or you get, you know, whatever phishing links or websites of imposter Amazon sites.
Did you buy iPhone?
You know,
17,
the domains will look exactly the same and they're not. You know, that kind of stuff. What they'll do is they always push for remote connection to your computer first. So, and they explain to the old person, like, you know, they don't use the term remote connection. They just say, we're connecting you to our secure server so we can refund you that money, right? And as soon as they do that, they have all the control in the world to block out your screen and take control. They have you log into your bank and they see how much money you have. That's where they start. That's their starting block. How much can I take? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. They have this money in savings, this money in checking. I'm not going to show them, but I'm going to transfer $50,000 from their savings to their checking. And I'm going to have them check their checking account or call their bank. Oh yeah, you have a deposit of $50,000 in your checking account. That was an accident. You have to send it back to us. So you have to go and wire it, or you have to go pull the money out, and you know. And so it's not really an overpayment. They just moved it from one account to the other, right? So that kind of stuff. So they will see how much you have and work from there.
And I think another one. Couple of those, it's definitely they will increase massive blast of emails, anything that Best Buy, Amazon, Target, anything that you shop for your family, every single person doing things online. You booking your hotels, tickets, Airbnb, whatever you do it online. So they will overblast those emails that you overshopped. There is, you bought something, right? You bought couch, you bought this. Call the number on the bottom. That's number one. Another one, have you heard about parking where there is a QR code and instead of real one, it's a fake one?
Okay.
Same stuff. They will print local scammers. They will print exactly identical, the same format. And we all struggling parking at Macy's, right? So you park somewhere, but you need to pay for your parking. And it's going to be a fake one. So you do the QR code, and it's going to lead you to a link that you clicked, pull the information, and they're already inside of your bank account. So it's a lot of things that you have to be like, we always say, if I did not request, if I didn't call IRS, if I didn't call my Bank of America, if I didn't call Amazon, do not take these robocalls. Do not reply those emails because it's fake. Do not trust anybody.
So everyone knows that, anyone that gets your email address can send you emails, right? And I think if you're a savvy person, and this isn't to disparage anyone, but if you're a savvy person, you don't really click links in random emails. You can check the email address, and just because it says Best Buy, if you hover over it, it'll have some big long
Costco one. It's a lot in those text messages.
So, but do you think, or is it that if you're actually working inside of apps, is that safer for people? Right? If you have an app on your phone, like a Hilton app, for you mentioned booking hotels or whatever.
Right.
If you're working inside of an app, is that safer for people, or do you think that the apps are compromised as well?
I mean, I think there's risk anywhere.
Yeah.
It just seems to me that most of the time when we talk to somebody who fell for something like this, they were caught at a bad moment in life, or even just a bad moment in the day. Like, I was just distracted at this one moment. I got this text. I thought I didn't think about it, and I clicked on it, and then all hell broke loose. It seems that apps are more trustworthy. I think as long as I think in general, apps and banks and companies like Amazon, they just need to be better at making their customers understand how they will and how they will not reach out to you.
Yeah.
Everyone does it differently, whatever. But you get an invoice from Amazon saying that you purchased, an iPhone that you didn't buy, and then you want to call the number on the bottom to dispute it. Well, Amazon needs to make it clear that you're never going to get a PDF invoice from them. And to some, it's obvious. To some, it's not.
Sure.
To an old person that's just scrolling through their email with, big text, and they see Amazon order they didn't buy, and it's going to drain their account.
They freaked out, and
they freak out. You panic. You call the number, and then they hijack your entire life. I think, if Amazon made it clear that we will only contact you, or you can only get support through our app, go to the app and click on this button. If more people knew that, then it would obviously be way safer.
I mean, I'm not immune to this at all, but I generally will err on the side of let them be mad at me because I didn't reply and didn't click.
You should never be pressured.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever pressuring you, no matter what it is, you don't need to act now. It's okay to take a breath, ask questions, talk to a loved one.
If the IRS is really after you, they're going to send you a certified letter to your house, and someone's going to hand deliver it, so that way they can say, we definitely
you'll hear
let
about
you
it
know.
repeatedly. You're not going to get one phone call one day that says you have an arrest warrant. It's just not going to happen that way. But to someone that doesn't know that, it can hijack your sensibility to make rational decisions.
Especially if you're the kind of person that's like, I have to take care of this now.
No.
And there are people that have good credit. A lot of times
urgency.
they have good credit because they see any kind of bill or whatever, and they're like, I have to take care of this right now.
But again,
urgent.
it's a timing thing too, that they're counting on happening when they send 1 billion of these things out. They send out 1 billion Amazon invoices. We'll often see that the victim will say something like, and the timing was bad because I had just looked at an iPhone on Amazon the other day to buy for my grandson, and then they sent me this invoice that it was purchased, and I thought it was related, even though it was a total coincidence.
Yeah.
Speaking of awareness, do you know how many times where we live in Los Angeles, California, we physically, in person, we went to Best Buy, Walgreens, Walmart, speak to the manager, and guys, for the love of God, put a freaking big sign in your gift card section. Do not pay your taxes with Apple gift cards, Play cards.
Yeah.
I talked to cashiers and they said, Art, I see zombies every single day on a phone with a scammer who's saying, who you sending money to? My family. Getting instructed, they go to gift cards and buying.
I think we're slowly moving away from gift cards. I say slowly, emphasis on that word. It's now going into crypto ATMs, which need to be, in my opinion, obliterated entirely. It's a disaster of an invention. But they're sending, grandmas to crypto ATMs because there's no limit. You just pile your whole freaking savings into it in cash over the course of however many weeks. And it's completely not untraceable, but it seems to be. It feels
we got approach.
It's harder. Yeah. I'm familiar with crypto in that I know that it's not people were used to say that Bitcoin was anonymous. It's not anonymous.
It's not anonymous, but you need someone that knows how to follow it, and then you need a law enforcement connection to run a KYC request, which may or may not yield you the information you're looking for, and it never just goes to one wallet and stays there. It branches out to a million other wallets,
and people will say, "Oh, well, you can download the blockchain and look," and it's like, no,
it doesn't.
Normal
it's not that
people
simple.
can't do that.
No.
Like it's not like, oh, let me just look in there. It's like it's specialized knowledge. You have to understand how you have to understand a lot about blockchain and technology and the blockchain that you're dealing with in particular. You can't just be like, oh, let me look it up like it's a file, like Googling it,
One of the episodes on our show, Scam Getting Even, there is a case in Canada. We went to Canada, and the guy is 65, 67, and he had concrete business, right? He was like, it's time to retire. And he goes on Facebook, and scammers can buy Google ads officially on Facebook and blast those crypto investment accounts.
That's the other thing. Don't ever Google support numbers for companies. Like, don't say Amazon support customer number. Don't Google that anymore, because your first 3-4 results are all paid ads, and they're oftentimes not real.
Yeah, and a lot of times when they're paid ads, if you're not constantly looking at Google, you don't know that.
Right. Or even if you know it's an ad, it looks like Amazon. So it's like, oh, Amazon ad advertises like it's the number. Let me just call it. Like, you don't, sometimes, anyway, sorry.
We not going to go this deep because this haven't happened yet, but we got approached by, we talked a couple congressmen, and they said, guys, what can we change? What kind of laws do we need? And me and Ashton was like, these Bitcoin ATMs that is in every single gas station, 7-Eleven, when your people, my people, anybody goes and deposit the whole houses, right? So much money, it should be regulated. Okay, let's not shut down Bitcoin ATM, but let's put it in a bank. It has to be regulated.
Have you ever seen anyone that legitimately trades crypto use an ATM to do it? Like, I only hear about scam victims going to them. I've never seen a person actually use it for legitimate trading.
Back in the day, in the early days of Bitcoin, it was fairly normal when you heard that there was a Bitcoin ATM, people would go and be like, "Ooh, I can just go ahead and put my cash in, and it'll keep me, it'll keep it away from the feds. They won't know."
Yeah.
Now we have Coinbase.
Anymore.
Now you go online and you're like, I buy, cryptocurrency. I love cryptocurrency. But you go on official, federal approved websites, blah, 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 and you buy it. I talked to a gas station close to my house, and he's the owner. And I just noticed that he just put Bitcoin ATM. So I was like, yo, do you know what I do for a living? So I give my brochure, Trilogy brochure, explain to him. And he said, Art, the person who just put this Bitcoin ATM, the amount of money that I'm getting paid, I'm covering the whole rent of my gas station. Wow. And I kind of don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I look at him and like that humanity level. And we went in Canada, we went to so many countries where victims were like, where did you deposit money? These gas station. We'll go to gas station, we talk to the clerk or manager, and everybody is like, nobody cares, just pay rent.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.